Most tennis players know the area of the court which we call no man's land. It's the area basically between the volley position and the baseline position. Round about here, round about here, round about here. But still, if you go to this club or any club, you'll see a lot of players still in that position. And we want to talk today about why you're better off not to be there and perhaps how you can avoid ending up there. The biggest problem with this kind of position is that you're not hitting ground strokes and you're not hitting volleys. If you're round about here, which you see a lot of players in, if that ball comes here, you've got a nasty half volley, you've maybe got a volley, and quite often you're going to see players hit a ball that's going out. If you're here, you're not really going to do much with your volley, because from this position you will tend to hit your volley back in a straight line. Now, if you want to make the most of your volleys in doubles, the aim of the volley is to get the ball to go through an angle down between the other two players. So what we're going to look at first is, where are the basic court positions that you start with? So if we start with our basic court positions at the beginning of a rally, I will be the server. Simon is my server's partner. He is in the center of the service box. Simon down there is the receiver. You'll see he's just slightly behind the baseline. He's assuming I'm going to hit a pretty decent serve. And Val is in a similar position to Simon. She's actually started a little bit further back, which is correct in some levels of the game, because there's a danger for Val that if Simon hits a weak return and this Simon comes in with the interception, she may have to make a defensive shot. But we would want Val, as soon as the ball comes back to me, to just move in a little bit to attack. If she was to stay there, that wouldn't be the worst position on court. Val is not here in no man's land. She takes a couple of steps back, she is. But at the moment, she's in a pretty decent volley position. She's also got a little bit more protection from the lob if she's that one step further back. Now, what we've got to try and do within the context of our rally is we've got to try and maintain this shape as the game goes on. So as we start the rally, what we've got to do at the baseline is we've got to try and make sure that if we get drawn away from our basic position, we come back again. The volley is the same. So if Simon thinks he's got an interception, my partner, Sai's going to go and try and make the interception, Sai. He doesn't make it. He doesn't get there. The ball comes back to me. He's now got to get to there. Now, one of the problems that players encounter initially is, for instance, if my serve takes Simon, the receiver, away from his rallying position, he can have a problem if he doesn't recover. So I was just able to hit the ball down the middle there reasonably slowly, and Simon was in a horrible place there. He has to make a decision when he's facing that short serve. What's he going to do after he's hit the return? Does he come in? If he hasn't necessarily got the confidence to come in, or it doesn't suit his game, he needs to go back. So we'll just see if Simon can get back to the baseline recovery position in time for my next shot. So you'll see there that by Simon making a quick recovery after he hit the return, they managed to keep their basic shape. The same can apply if the receiver takes the server out of position. So if Simon's return takes me to there, I may have the same problem. What I'm going to show here is that it might be an idea in your game if you think, well, maybe it's a good idea to go in. Let's see if that works for us. We managed to force the error. Not all players are suited to making that dash to the net. But if you come in on the right ball, if the approach shot you play is good enough, then your two at the net can work. A lot of players say to us, we get two to the net, we get lobbed all the time. And there are two issues there that we need to deal with. The first is that if you're too close to the net, as many players are, you're very, very easy to lob from here. So beware of that. If you keep getting lobbed, bring your net position back a little bit. And the second one is to try and make it as difficult as possible for this player to control their next shot. If you hit a really good pacey ball, or a very deep ball, or perhaps a ball with very heavy slice, it's not easy for the player to control the next shot. So hopefully you'll get that nice easy volley and be able to win the rally. Yes, you take a risk when you bring two in, but two things happen. One is you put pressure on the opponents, and the second one is, particularly if you're just playing socially, you're inclined to have more fun.